Talk About It with Franjez. Today's special guest is a recording artist from Hastings-on-Hudson. Today's guest is James Gatzby. My man, James, thank you for coming through.
Franjez, I appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. Let's start with a little wellness check. How you doing today?
I'm doing quite well, thank you.
Good. Glad to hear. Let's jump straight in.
Yeah, man.
Start from the beginning. Where were you born?
So I was born in Mount Sinai Hospital in Manhattan. My parents were living in Yonkers at the time, so I went home with them there. But in my young life, I actually grew up in Valhalla for a little bit with my grandparents, my mom's parents specifically. We lived there with them, but I went to school in Hastings-on-Hudson ever since I was in kindergarten. So I eventually moved to Hastings right after 9/11. But yeah, graduated Hastings High School, ended up going to Fordham University in the Bronx, and have taken off since then.
Nice. And tell us a little bit about your childhood.
Well, I definitely grew up playing music. Initially it was piano lessons for me.
It was your choice?
No, my parents just put me into it, but I enjoyed it. I definitely, took to it naturally. But piano was kind of the first intro for me about learning about music. Then violin in third grade, I took only a year. They actually offered me private lessons to keep going on the side, which I did, but I was more interested in the band, to be honest. So in fourth grade through eighth grade, I played saxophone.
Damn.
Which is funny because I wanted to play the drums, but my mom said it'd be too loud. So I'm like, okay, yeah, saxophone will definitely be appropriate. But no, she was about it. She supported it. If anything, you know what I'm saying?
You can't play those light, right?
No, you cannot. Bro. Absolutely not. So I, if anything, I didn't practice enough, but she was supportive of me with my music, coming to shows when she could. And then I kind of stopped music actually in high school to really focus on sports. I was a 3-sport athlete. Really, soccer was my main sport. I drifted around in the spring. I grew up playing baseball, but tried a little bit of lacrosse in there too. And then I played basketball sometimes in the winter, if not just focusing on, physical fitness and lifting to get ready for the other year. But around senior year, maybe even junior year of high school, hip hop and rap started to appeal to me. Just from being in the social scene, people would start freestyling and rapping, and I had the courage to try it one day and ended up, making some songs and stuff on GarageBand to really get myself going.
So before the rap and hip hop was introduced to you, what were you listening to?
That's a great question. There really was no rap or hip hop in my house, to be honest with you, growing up.
What was being played?
A lot of pop music. Like my mom loved Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey. I listened to like NSYNC as a boy band when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? Like some Disney Channel shit. It was always on in my house. So kids, Barney even was music back in the day, like legit. So my dad, on the other hand, though, was much more into heavy metal. So like Metallica, Rolling Stones.
You had a variety then. Good.
Yeah, and then what I was allowed to listen to was more like alternative rock. So like classic 90s alt music. I then, though, discovered hip hop in my own way with, sports and shit. Honestly, in the locker room, a lot of people, and just being in school, 5th, 6th grade was when I heard like Eminem and 50 Cent for the first time. That really resonated with me. And I was able to go out and try and find there's so many different artists now, obviously with streaming and the way we've grown in the last 20 years. But initially it was just about like the hardest dudes from New York, like Lloyd Banks, Jada Kiss, like Hilltop Hoods. Actually, I'm gonna shout out from Australia. It was somebody you probably never heard of.
No.
They are incredible though in terms of the way they melodically put their songs together. A lot of their hooks and the messaging that they have, the storytelling is just brilliant. So that resonated with me. For myself though, when I started taking it seriously, I would say I emulated like Mac Miller a lot, and then eventually Russ with his self-driven, entrepreneurial spirit. I definitely could relate to that a lot. So those guys are all huge inspirations for me.
So you're trying to be independent?
Definitely right now.
Oh, I'm a huge Mac Miller fan.
For sure.
Like, when he passed, for like a year, I didn't listen to his music.
Damn, really?
It was just like, it just didn't even seem real. Like, especially now because of social media. I literally watched his stories every day.
Yeah.
So it's like, I watched his last story. Like, how crazy is that? Like, that's kind of powerful nowadays.
No, it is.
Back in the day, you didn't have that type of look inside of an artist's life.
Yeah, the connection is next level.
Crazy. It's still unbelievable.
I was working at my agency job at the time, and I just like was stunned And I go up to my coworkers and I'm like, Mac Miller died. And they're like, who's that?
Wow.
I was just like,
slap in the face.
No, but I was super young compared to a lot of my other coworkers. Like, this was.
Oh, okay, so now looking back,
So I
you
understood.
know why.
No, yeah, totally. I just was like, because to me, he was like one of the biggest people in the world. So it's just crazy to even see how you live in your own bubble like that. But
Yeah.
Mac's a legend. I have so many bars about him. I listen to him all the time. So,
You know, I used to think that way too. Like, how don't you know about like certain people? But then if you think about it, there's over 8 billion people on Earth.
there's.
and then these artists get just a few million views and streams. So compared to 8 billion,
Yeah.
what is a few million?
Exactly.
That's how I started seeing it. Like, oh, that's why people don't know all these people.
I'm gonna have
Because it's
to-
not even in their radar.
Exactly. I'm gonna have to shout out. There's such a good IG page about this dude who shows his dad new music and just like music videos to get reactions from him. Like, my dad passed away, rest in peace.
R.I.P.
I wish I could have had that relationship with my dad on that level to like share music like that and get his reactions. It would have been hilarious. So shout out those guys who are doing that and helping music discovery. Like, so many of the comments are, how did you never hear this song before? But exactly to your point, like, there's so many genres. You never know what people had access to listen to all those years ago, even for someone of that age. So yeah, man, that's why I'm hyped about my music, man. No one's heard it yet, but I'm hyped for it to really hopefully start growing a little bit this year.
You continue with this consistency, you're definitely going somewhere, 100%. It's only a matter of time. That's what I'm doing with this podcast.
Exactly. Consistency is key.
It's only a matter of time. Something's going to happen. This might be the one.
This might be the one. We might come back and watch this one and be like, oh my God.
Right? Remember that one?
Hey, man, if a song blows up in 2025, I haven't done many other podcast interviews, this in Stockroom. So there's only so much James Gatsby content out there. People are going to eat it up. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with it, man. Let's run it back. If you don't make it, don't come back. No, I'm joking.
I'll take care of that part. Don't worry.
My man. Who are your top 5 favorite artists?
My top 5 favorite artists? I gotta say Mac. I gotta say Russ. I gotta say Eminem. I gotta say Biggie. And then I don't know if I'm even gonna stay hip hop with this last one. To be honest with you, I listen to mostly rap. I'd probably put it as a tie between Drake, Kendrick, and Cole.
Wow.
Which is cheating, I know.
Nah, it is what it is.
Because I listened to a shit. I definitely was influenced listening to Drake the most, probably. He's got a bad rep recently. Because if I'm being honest, though, I think J. Cole came out the worst because he kind of like
quit right
tried to do
away.
it, but then quit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We can get into that later. But there's so many like classics. I know Drake has the most commercial success. There's so many classics that I fuck with on so many playlists that he's probably one of my top artists for sure. Kendrick, I think, is the most skilled, though, as an MC. And as a songwriter.
Yeah, I can see that 100%.
And Cole is kind of somewhere in between.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And as a former athlete, I kind of relate to Cole a little bit. I'm switching from athletics to hip hop. So, yeah. They got to be up in there too.
Nice. I like it.
And that's just really speaking hip hop. Like,
If it wasn't hip hop, what was up there?
the Stones and the Beatles are so iconic for me. I definitely rock with them heavy. And then I feel like there's more just like one-off songs that I rock with. OG Justin Timberlake was crazy for me. That's where I get a lot of my pop rap approach, like in terms of being a songwriter. A lot of what he did with Timbaland.
Oh yeah, that
Bro,
was
that
good
shit
music.
slaps.
That's very good music.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Those were good times in music.
Yeah, man. 20s R&B. I read a lot of songs where I'm like, I don't know if this is R&B for me or pop. Like, it's hard for me to even define my own music sometimes, but those are some of the influences that you definitely will hear in it.
I like that. I can see it too. Definitely. What's your writing process?
I always find the beat first.
And then what?
Because the beat to me sets the emotion.
Yeah.
Having played music, like, it sets a tone. Like, when a fucking hard drop happens or the heavy bass drum hits, like, and hits you in the chest, like, it really will bring your energy to the level I'm looking for to helpfully then relate to the words. So I find that I usually use this website called BeatStar, actually, which is kind of like a library for beats where producers can upload all their beats. They have their leases on there. You can see the different prices and different levels for everything. It's just a good marketplace. I try and find the homies that'll hold it down with a good discount, if they will, of like buy one, get one free. I actually just did a Black Friday sale for buy one, get 19 free, which was crazy.
But were they good beats?
Yeah, bro. I've made multiple tracks of them.
Wow,
I don't want to say it because
that's
I don't want other people to find them because I just hold it down. But if they give me the thumbs up, shout out Way Too Lost. Yeah, they were crazy. They're so good.
Nice.
But there's others like where it's like buy two, get five if I do enough. You know what I'm saying? At a certain level. You can't just get like the $30 lease. I try and get usually the unlimited version, which means I get unlimited distribution or at least somewhere up to like 500,000 streams, like a significant amount of streams.
Explain this. I never really understood the leasing part of it.
Yeah. So the producer gives you the right to use the beat, usually for about 10 years. So that means on a non-exclusive rights deal, I am retaining the right to get, it addresses everything from how many music videos you can make, how many live performances you can do, how many streams you can get online, how many physical copies you can sell. And I try and get the one where it's just unlimited everything. So I don't have to worry about it. And if I really believe in the song or I start to see traction with the song, I'll try and negotiate for the exclusive rights, which means only I can use this beat now. No one else can lease it. So if someone wants to remix my shit, they have to come to me and be like, okay, well, let's negotiate a deal to get this done.
But isn't the best case scenario to buy it outright?
If you can afford it, yeah. But that gets expensive, if not hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars per beat. So I try and do it where it's like, okay, maybe I'll spend $80 to $100 to get the unlimited rights deal for 10 years. That gives me all the same protections for me to blow the fuck up. I could get 1 billion streams on it, perform it on every major television show, make all the money in the world, just register it between myself. There's something called like writer's rights and like performance rights and then publisher's rights. So usually it's 50-50 split between me as the artist and the producer, which I'm totally cool with. Happy to do 50%. They made the music. I did the lyrics. I'm performing it. Sounds good to me. You know what I'm saying?
That's a lot.
It is, but I didn't make any of the beat. I wouldn't have had it if I didn't even do the beat from the start. You know what I'm saying? If I want to make my own beats or I have homies that are like, yeah, you just buy this and own this, sure, I'm cool with that. But to me, that's
like tax.
That's
what it sounds like. It sounds
to
like
me, it's creative rights though. Like I don't. If someone, if
I
I made a
big
beat,
percent,
if I made a beat and it blows up, I would expect to be making money off that song going forward into perpetuity. You know what I'm saying? Like I deserve it, in my opinion. So I completely see where producers are coming from. If anything, people in the music industry are getting screwed out of money. Like streams is barely paying artists as much as you would think it is. So everyone's entitled to what they deserve for their work. I would just be mad if you're trying to do something excessive and overstepping your bounds. Then I'd have to talk about it.
Yeah, I see that.
It's more than 50% or something sneaky in that contract. So
it just sucks thinking someone has a little bit of power over your music. And what happens after the 10 years? You have to renegotiate?
Exactly.
And if the song does well, he could be like, well,
that's why I would hopefully be a strategic marketer and planner
tough.
to know which songs are going to hopefully be blown up, and I can get those with an exclusive purchase and just have it in the baz. But honestly, dude, what a problem to have. Oh my God, my song is going viral. I'm blowing the fuck up. Now I got to renegotiate with the person who helped me make it, who's probably not going to try and screw me. They just want to make sure they get their fair share, you know?
Yeah, it's like having a video go viral and you're not really getting paid for it. You're still going viral. You're still getting out there. So I see that. You're benefiting. It's definitely, regardless, it's a benefit.
At this point, it's a benefit, no doubt.
It would have probably never existed, and you would probably never reached as many people. You would probably not have gained so many fans if the song does well.
Exactly.
So yeah, I see that. It's not always about the money.
No, totally.
It's like networking at the end of the day. It's not always about spending the ticket to get into this place. It's you're about to meet people.
And I'm still getting money. I'm still getting 50%, which I feel like is what I'm
50%.
doing on the song. I could just do a song with no beat, or I could always just take the time to make the beats. I just choose to stay in my lane, you know, because like this is what I feel like I'm very good at, and I'd rather let experts focus on what they're doing.
100%.
A master of few rather than jack of all trades and master of none.
100%. Do you have one engineer?
I got my man E-Man, who I work with out in Diesel Music Studio and Union Music Studio in White Plains. Shout them out. I also have been recording recently with Stockroom Records and my man Josh Dews and Mayor Mark. Dudes have been holding it down for me. I also am going to shout out in Brooklyn, and when I was out there, my dude Eric Diamond in Diamond Labs Recording Studios that he just opened in Brooklyn was super dope. So there's some really good spots, honestly. I'm good, thank you. I've been told I should check out other studios in the city just to try and make networking connections even.
Just like I was saying, networking is everything.
Yeah. But for me, having a good relationship with an engineer is crucial.
Absolutely.
Because I've had engineers now that I've worked with for years, like my man E-Man, who understands me. He hears my sound, and he gives me good suggestions even for things I'd never thought of before, which to me is some Rick Rubin shit where you just have it happen in the studio real live, and it's like, oh my God, that's amazing. He tells me one idea, I do it, and then I take it to another level to something he never even thought of, and it's like, holy shit, that was crazy.
That's a good collaboration.
It would have never happened if we weren't working together. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm happy to pay the money to go to the studio.
Absolutely.
It's an investment for me.
When it's like that, when you have when you click with the engineer, it's a whole different ballgame.
Exactly.
That's nice.
I'm efficient as fuck with my time in the studio, though. You know me, Franjez.
I could tell just by how you rap, just like how you perform it, your punctuality. You were early today.
I was gonna say
I could tell.
I try and get there like early as fuck. Make sure I scout everything out. I try and have everything rehearsed. If I don't have it a demo made at my own crib on my Logic, then I at least have practiced it like 50 fucking times to make sure I know how I'm gonna sound with my delivery.
I'm gonna tell the story of. It's a conversation we had before I pressed record. I was talking about his first music video a year ago.
Yep. Or 2 years ago, actually, at this point.
It's called Broke Isn't Funny.
Yep.
So when I first met James, it was at a live performance at the Stockroom Records. And I never heard or seen his videos before then. I just recently started watching his videos and getting into his other music, preparing for this podcast, and I liked his live performance better than the one I saw in the video, which he did over a year ago. And we're talking about performing it over and over and practicing it and listening to it over. You just get sharper.
Exactly.
So the performances sound way better than the original track, which is insane. And that's how I first met him, as that performance. So when I listened back, it wasn't as impressive.
Nah, man, and I'm honestly totally cool with that because if anything, it just shows my growth as an artist. Like, I'm going to leave that shit up and set an expectation now if you see me live that if you go tell your friends that after the fact, you are an ambassador for me, which is the ultimate goal for me as an artist, is that I want fans, but if you're an ambassador vouching for me, even being like, yo, that video was good, but like, he's even better live, that means the world to me. So I just hope that I can continue to improve with my work and continue to hone this craft, and hopefully the next video will be even better, you know what I'm saying? And then we'll just build up from there.
Absolutely. So let's talk about that video. That was the first video you really made?
Yeah, actually. I had done a video back in like 2014 on some low budget under a different alias, but for James Gatzby, that was the first one that I did with my man Steve. Shout out Steve, House of Moles. They do the One Train Cyphers down in New York City.
Oh, nice.
Steve I met on an influencer cruise back in like 2019. And he was doing the recording for it. My boy was spinning as the DJ. Shout out Mestizo. And I was like, Steve, your recap of this event is incredible. Like, I don't know when, I don't know how, but I'm going to work with you one day.
There you go.
Then the pandemic happened. It couldn't work. But I ended up making a boatload of music after the pandemic and like getting through some personal shit that...
No pun intended. Boatload.
Literally.
This guy's good.
I was finally ready in like 2022, 2023 to hit Steve up though. And I definitely came through on my promise. I said, bro, when I'm ready for a video, it's going to be you. And we just danced our way through New York City, ran around, got to the top of 235th. They let us, shout out to the barista or whoever it was that let me kind of just like film in the lounge area and club for free of charge.
And
real
the
quick.
sign
and the
behind
top,
you.
Exactly, with the shit with the Empire State Building.
Oh, like,
they
this
didn't charge
guy's
me a dime for
good.
that. I can't believe they even let us in past security. Thank God. Like, appreciate y'all holding it down for an independent artist.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, for New York City rooftop, that's
yeah,
nice. That's
it
nice.
It was sick.
That's
But
nice.
That song though means a lot to me though, because it meant everything growing up. My grandparents, who I mentioned, who I lived with,
Absolutely.
my grandpa Joe, my grandma Laura, they always would tell me how hard it was for them growing up, especially their parents who grew up literally in like the Depression in the city. Like my great grandpa drove a junk truck, if I'm not mistaken. Like my grandpa was in the Navy and he worked on buildings. My grandma was just an administrative aide. And like they talked about chasing the rats with the brooms and like warming up the water on the oven and then pouring it into the bathtub to take a bath and shower. Like, to me, broke was never going to be funny. And I always wanted to get money ever since I was young. Literally. Just because they scared the shit out of me with that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're like, yo, make sure you get your good grades. Like, you better get to a good school.
Being broke is not funny.
Broke ain't no joke. Real shit. So,
So I'm assuming that's why you chose that one to do the video for, because it was like the most meaningful.
But I also tied it back to New York by saying my grandma, my grandpa 50, because 50 Cent, I get money. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the first 50 songs that I really fucked with that
Nice.
as a motivational track. So
I like that.
I tied it all together.
I like that. If you had to explain your music, how would you describe it?
I actually just had this conversation the other day where I emphasize how it's difficult for me just because I think I'm probably too close to it. But I would say I am definitely a songwriter. I'm an artist. I don't just rap, but I'm rooted in hip hop. Like, I'm a student of the game. When I was at Fordham, I did like a 28-page paper on the history of hip hop.
Really?
For one of my composition classes. I really wanted to learn about it, like understand where it came from, who influenced it, from the DJs and just throwing parties to the early artists, early MCs, through the 2000s, everything blowing up, really getting mainstream and popular, and then what I was listening to at the time. So I am definitely a rapper. You hear rhymes in my verse. Like, I got cadence. I try and do punctuation and delivery. I'm trying to be clear with the shit. But like I said, I love music. And I know
it shows 100%.
Melodies and shit are what stick around and makes people remember shit. As much as I'm doing this for me because I love writing music, but I'm also doing this for fans. Like, I want people to have good music to listen to. And my philosophy now is that if I don't fuck with it, who else will fuck with it? Literally. So I'm finally writing music for myself that I enjoy.
I like that.
I listen to my shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally.
You got to be your biggest fan.
No, legit.
100%.
Because if I truly thought it was shit, I wouldn't put that shit out.
That's why you sound so crisp performing live, because you're listening to it, your music.
Yeah,
100%.
Practicing crazy. Shout out Mr. Jernigan, the band teacher from Hastings High School, who told my mom I didn't practice enough when I used to be in the band. Because now I take that shit so seriously with my music that I practice all the fucking time.
Shout out.
Religiously, you know what I'm saying? So, Mr. Jernigan, I got some fire for you.
I like that.
You don't even know.
Very nice. What religion you grew up practicing as a child?
I was a Catholic growing up.
Oh, okay.
I was actually an altar server.
Oh, all right.
Because I was just, I had like ADHD and anxiety growing up. But it was undiagnosed. I didn't get diagnosed until right before the pandemic.
Everything happened before the pandemic.
Yeah, I took like the steps to like go seek help, you know what I'm saying? So it was good to do that. But I was just bored as fucking church, honestly. Like, I needed something to do. So that was a way for me to get more involved. I'm definitely a God-fearing man. Like, I am spiritual. I just think that in churches in general, like, there's a lot of philosophical, I don't want to say corruption, but I think through history, man has corrupted the idea of religion, I think, to their own benefit. And, like, there's definitely things and lessons, not just things, lessons and ethics that I take from the church and apply to my own life. But I'm definitely not practicing.
I hear you.
Yeah, but I say my prayers every night, dude. Like, I definitely am God-fearing and, like, trying to set good intention in the world and believe in a higher being.
Who's the first person you think of when you think of success?
My mom.
Tell us why.
Because she was always so driven in life. My mother worked her way up from being an English teacher to working as a librarian to then in a school district to then being director of technology in the school district, to then being director of curriculum at another school district, to then within 6 months of getting that role, getting placed as a temporary superintendent and then taking over the role of superintendent.
Wow. She really moved up.
Crazy. And then now her role, now that she's retired, she was on plenty of executive boards. She got her doctorate from Columbia. But she like helps now to source new placements for other superintendents and administrative roles. So like, she's one of my heroes for sure. Her ability to focus on her expertise, like I said, be a master of few. With academics and administrative role, she is an expert, and I admire that about her very much.
Nice. Very nice. Shout out mom.
Yeah, for real.
She sounds amazing.
I'm lucky to have her as a mother. I really am.
Amazing. That's beautiful. And how'd you learn meet Stockroom Records and hear about them and Josh and that crew?
All right, so mom, you probably don't want to listen to this part.
This is gonna be good.
No, I'm kidding. But for real, Josh, shout out Josh Dews. He is my man from back in the day in high school. We actually went to rival high schools. So Hastings-on-Hudson is one of the river towns in Westchester County, right on the Hudson River. Dobbs Ferry is right next to us. Excuse me. And both Josh and I played soccer, so we were familiar that way. Going out into the party scene, just being underage, drinking, having fun on weekends, I would cross paths with him. And over the years in college, we've just stayed in touch because he makes music as well. So I admired and respected what he was doing. And then I saw he was doing some open mic stuff over at Stockroom. And I said, I should definitely pull up. Like, it's been years since I've seen him. But shout out Stockroom. I know they won Best of Westchester recently. I used to actually work with Westchester Magazine with one of my previous agency jobs when I was working at Thompson & Bender in Westchester County. So I'm familiar with the Westchester scene a little bit with like PR and events and stuff that goes on. So, I wanted to definitely congratulate him with that. And he's been fucking with my music. I've been able to find a nice platform there with different open mics, different podcasts, a show that we did at Yonkers Brewing, and it's really blossomed into something nice, I think.
Nice. Yeah. He's killing it.
Yeah.
He's doing really good things for artists out there, just giving them
a
platform.
Yeah, man. I'll be there again on Saturday to do just a talent show, show them some of the stuff I recorded there.
Nice.
Yep.
Very nice. As a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Oh, I wanted to be a soccer player. If I was born in another life, if my parents understood that investing in club sports as a youth was like investing in my college career because I would have got a better college scholarship, bro, I would have been Ronaldo for the U.S. men's national team. Like, I have no doubt about it. I'm the type of person that will put their mind towards something, especially if I love it and have passion about it. Like, you couldn't take me off the soccer field. When I was like 2-3 years old, my dad called me Taz because, like the Tasmanian devil, they'd be like, all right, just go play defense. But I was just faster than everyone, just running, getting the ball and scoring goals repeatedly. Like, if we were in Europe, some scout would have been like, that 4-year-old's incredible. We have to get him into the academy. And I would have been bred to be a soccer player to play internationally.
Damn.
Like, I wish I could play for Manchester United as their lead striker and play for the U.S. men's national team and bring home a World Cup. Like, if I could be born again and raise myself, it would be Project Mbappe or Project James Gatsby to be scoring goals.
If I could be born again,
you know what I'm saying?
Myself, my man.
For real. But
damn, your parents missed out.
It's all good though, because shout out my homies that I get to play EAFC with. All right, right now, if I could. I have a great job. I love my job. If I could do anything in the world and make money off of it, though, it would obviously be this music shit, and it would be streaming as a streamer playing Xbox, because I am a huge gamer as well. I love that shit. I used to play with my dad all the time growing up. But EAFC is how I get to relive soccer glory.
What is that, a soccer game?
Yeah, it's like FIFA, basically.
Oh,
They just
okay.
FIFA lost the naming rights, so now it's
Really?
EAFC.
Wow, like WWF.
Yeah, exactly, basically.
Man.
So I play striker on this pro clubs format where I'm just controlling the striker and we're just out here scoring goals all day, dude. Like, I have a rap bar about it. It's fucking fire. Like,
My man.
I get to relive the glory days.
But streamer money is really good money right now, and that might be a good way to even network to spread your music out there.
No, definitely.
It's a good idea. Right now, streaming is huge. I know you know.
The one thing I'm trying to do first is get the attention with the music first, though, because there's so many. It's such a populated streaming community, and I want someone to have a reason to watch me. Not that I'm not entertaining. I think I probably would be, just from the way I make my friends laugh in Xbox parties. But I ultimately am trying to have an audience that's reliable, and like I can set up a consistent schedule with it. If I have attention of people already to fuck with my music, then they'd be more inclined to watch.
Yeah, it's definitely easier. You already have people that fuck with you. 100%.
I could either focus on the streaming or the music, and I'm choosing to focus on the music. The streaming will come later.
I respect it.
Yeah.
You should definitely do it, but yeah.
Not for sure.
Timing is everything.
Exactly. Timing is everything.
Yeah. What are 3 things you need to be happy?
3 things I need to be happy. Family, for sure. Music. Music is how I express myself, and it's therapeutic to me. I'm going to throw friends in with family, because to me it's almost one and the same. I have friends that are family to me.
Nice.
And what do I need to be happy? That's a good question. I would like to say time as the 3rd thing.
Damn, that's deep.
Time is the number 1 thing that I wish I could have more of, because I got so much shit going on. So when I actually do find myself having time and I can like breathe and don't have like a to-do list to do or some shit, that is crazy in terms of like just a relief for me.
I like that. I never heard that one on the show so far. I like that. What's the most exciting thing you ever did?
Damn, the most exciting thing I ever did? Like in my entire life, bro?
Yeah.
It depends on what age I'm thinking about. Like, let me see.
Whole life.
The most exciting thing. Damn. The most hyped I probably ever was when I was at Cortica, my freshman year of college. My first big concert was Kendrick Lamar and Steve Aoki. And it was fucking crazy.
That is crazy.
Steve Aoki and Kendrick Lamar were rafting on the crowd. And that was when, for me, I was like, yo, I want to be on that stage. I was like, I want to be Kendrick. That's when I was like, nah, like, I'm going to take this rap shit serious as fuck.
I want to be Kendrick. So, yeah, I understand why then. Yeah, that was impactful.
That and probably my first show ever.
Oh, you're doing your
my
first
own show. Yeah. Because that shit's actually still on YouTube.
Oh, nice.
Under the rap name Guy Nee. My boy Dave Milo. Shout out Dave Milo, my old college roommate, Fordham. Go Rams. I had maybe like 6 or 7 of my boys. We were all underage, but they let us in the club because I was performing, which was sick. It was called Pyramid Club. They used to do all different types of shows down there. But that night was a hip-hop night. Shout out Major Stage, who organized that shit. They've really blown up with their platform a little bit.
Nice.
Those dudes are sick now. But my show, I did this track. I got to do one song, Cinderella. And that bass drop, the whole crowd went crazy.
Nice.
Well beyond what I expected. And my performance, I've come so far now as a performer. But like, even for my first show, I at least knew my shit. Like, I took it serious. When they went crazy, there was no stopping me after that. I believed in myself supremely at that point. I was like, this is a proof point. If I could do this everywhere, I'm going to do it everywhere. You know what I mean? So between that and the Steve Aoki Kendrick Lamar concert, those were probably the most exciting things because it set me on this path.
Man, absolutely. Those are impactful moments.
Yeah.
Let's get back to, you said we'll talk about it later. J. Cole jumping out of the battle. What are your views on that?
I was just hella disappointed because when it first started and they had third-person shooter, I was like, oh, shit. This is about to be like the greatest hip-hop battle of our time. And I'm just a hip-hop fan, so I thought it was going to be sick because I knew Kendrick was going to bring his shit. I knew Drake was going to pussy out because of what he did with Meek Mill years ago. And I never saw J. Cole in this position, so I was just intrigued.
Yeah.
So then Cole did that project called, like, Might Delete This Later, or probably will delete this later, whatever it was. And he deleted the track that was specifically the beef track. I went to go listen to it like a day after it came out, and it was gone. So I was hella disappointed that, like, dude, in hip-hop, all the time, like I said, I studied this shit. That shit was cutthroat as fuck. Like, there's some streets warfare shit a lot of the times. So when you come to the whatever arena you're in, you got to bring your bars and you got to bring your shit and you got to stand on business. He didn't do that. So I'm disappointed in Cole. I still love him. Shout out J. Cole. Shout out Dreamville. They got their last festival going down, I think, in April. That shit's going to be dope.
Yeah, he says the last one.
Yeah, that's going to be sick. I would love to pull up. But it now was between Drake and Kendrick for me, who's like the greatest of this generation. Drake's got the pop success, but I think Kendrick as an artist outdoes him because he shows he can do the pop shit when he wants to.
Yeah.
He can pop out and have everybody dancing on stage singing the shit. So.
Yeah. I agree. As you get older, what has become more important and less important?
I mean, money's become more important because I got fucking bills. But, you know, shit is real out here.
Yeah, it is.
I would say I've definitely tried to mature and slow down a little bit. I used to always be, like I said, that Taz mentality, like running through life. And I try and be more well-spoken and conscientious of what I say, how it's going to impact people, try and be open to other people's perspective more, and really reflect on how someone else can feel rather than just thinking my way or the highway, you know? I definitely have some, like, a just mentality to myself. I try and think of, like, how history will view me. I try and think of lessons learned in history to apply to today and try and like set a better path forward. Like I don't have kids or anything right now, but I would love to have a family one day.
My man.
So I definitely want to leave this place better than I found it. So politics and information has become more important to me, but at the same time, so has taking time to unplug and make sure I'm in a good place. Like you said, timing is everything. And just because something is ready doesn't mean you're ready. So you got to make sure that you are aligned with whatever product and stuff you're trying to go to market with. That's something that was very big for me this past year.
My man. You read books?
I do. Not as much as I should. I'm definitely more... It's not that it's boring to me. I just prefer more dynamic mediums, I think. But a lot of the books I read are more like self-help shit.
Yeah, me too.
So like The Creative Act by Rick Rubin. Great
book I read that one.
Mood. I love the guys over at Echelon Front, Jocko Willink and Leif Babin, who are the most badass motherfuckers that you will ever meet. They are, we were talking before how you met the dude that shot Osama bin Laden. These dudes are Navy SEALs, like the most elite of the elite. They were there in Iraq, and I believe Afghanistan as well. But they basically apply their Navy SEALs logic to business situations and just teach you how to be. One book is called Extreme Ownership. It's about being the ultimate leader. And I try and apply a lot of that to myself because when it comes to my professional life, and even in my creative elements, I see myself as an administrator and as my graduate degree, my business administrative degree when I was an undergrad, specifically was about like marketing and management and trying to be in some sort of CMO type of role, some sort of director role where I'm leading a team. But I see myself with music being a leader in life, and I see the power that influencers have in the marketplace. So I try and, apply that level of critical thinking to damn near everything I do when I can.
My man. I like that. What would be the best piece of advice you'd give your younger self?
The best piece of advice I'd give my younger self. Is there a particular age?
No.
Ooh. That makes it tough. If I was speaking to the very young me, I would be definitely committing to the soccer dream earlier, just because I love soccer very much, football as they call it. But if I were speaking to, let's say, like myself about to graduate from college, it would be to lean wholly into the music thing and don't let anyone stop you, whether it's relationships with friends, relationships with girls, like relationships with family. Focus on this, do this, hone your craft, and believe in it. Because I had a pretty big hiatus for a few years where, it was relationships distracting me or just like personal shit dealing with family or even just my own mental state. I probably was, a little depressed, like not really being the best version of myself, not taking care of myself. And I ultimately see clearly now the way. So I'm full steam ahead.
My man.
Yeah.
What do you do for your mental health?
I do like to meditate.
My man.
Michael Seeley is dope for anybody that needs a recommendation on YouTube. Michael Seeley. I mean, it's better if you have YouTube Premium because you get to not have the ads break it up.
Yeah, that would ruin the meditation.
I watch a lot of YouTube, so I actually do fuck with YouTube Premium. I fuck with like United Stand. I'm a huge Manchester United fan, like I said, so it's good to not have commercials. But Michael Seeley as well. He does excellent meditations, whether it's as simple as trying to help you fall asleep, trying to deal with anxiety. I did one for nice guy syndrome, actually, that I felt applied to myself because I was always trying to be a people pleaser because I was afraid of getting in trouble or telling someone no. And I had to address that with myself and know when it's right to stand up for myself and believe in myself rather than always just do what the other person wants. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it was very introspective. I definitely go to therapy as well. I go bi-weekly at this point, which is healthy for me. I know everybody has their own schedule or relationship, but I would say for anyone questioning therapy that it's kind of like dating in the sense that you really got to find someone that is good with you. Just because you're doing therapy doesn't mean it's going to work. You have to have a good relationship with your therapist. So
yeah, I tried 2 and it didn't work out.
Yeah, and that's totally normal. Like I said, it's more like dating than anything else. Like I found someone now who I'm comfortable with. I've had pretty good luck, but like I had one therapist who's way older than me, and there's no way he could relate to most of what I was saying. So like I found someone now who's more my age, still mature about it, holds me accountable, but he's also real with me and a good friend that I need to just be able to trust and get shit off my chest, so I'm not just bottling it up and getting pissed about it. You know? It's the last thing I want to do.
Absolutely. I agree. Therapy's good. It's healthy. If you could have
I was going to say, I don't mean to cut you off, Franjez. I was going to say the last thing I do too is just go to the gym. I got to stay physical. And I like to play. I like to play sports too. Health. I do still try and play soccer during the summertime. I used to play club when I was at Fordham, so you know, staying active. Whenever the homies want to go play basketball at a park or something, I try not to bitch out and show up, even if it's like 100 degrees in the summer. You know, just stay active, go out, get some fresh air, stay in touch with nature, especially because I work from home. So I try and make sure I get my steps in.
Yeah, that's got to be tough.
Yeah,
working from home.
It's got its benefits and it's got its cons, like anything else.
Absolutely. Mentally, it's got to be tough.
Yeah.
If you could have any question in the world answered, what would you ask? And I mean anything, even like the time you're going to die, the day you're going to die.
Damn, I don't think I'd want to know that, actually.
No, that's just an example.
No, that's what I went to first, too, actually. But I was like, nah, son, that shit would drive me crazy.
Yeah.
I'd be wondering how. I'd be wondering, like,
did I take advantage enough? Exactly. What am I doing?
Exactly.
Oh,
I don't want to know.
That's stress.
I definitely don't want to know. Any question? Damn, I don't have like burning questions that piss me off. I guess like I don't know. I'm not a big conspiracy theorist. Maybe like, is there life in the universe outside of this? Because I believe there's definitely life. I feel like there's. I mean, the U.S. government has come out and said they don't know what. It's not UFOs anymore. It's unidentified aerial phenomenon, I believe. UAPs.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, maybe something like that. Like, what is the nearest civilization? Are they friendly? Like, do I have to prepare to fight the fucking Klingons from Star Trek or something? Like, or do we get to live peacefully in this universe? Because that would be ideal. But I think if there was something like that, like some groundbreaking discovery, and it was just socially acknowledged, hopefully humanity would come together and focus more on our commonalities rather than our differences. So that, I think, would be information that would better serve the public.
I like that. And what's the story behind James Gatzby?
So I very much stand on the fact that I'm a self-made New Yorker. Like, I am born and raised in Westchester County. My dad, when my parents got divorced, he moved back to his original hometown of Brooklyn, so I used to spend mad time out in Brooklyn. My mom, she grew up on Pelham Parkway in the Bronx. So I got family throughout Westchester County, Rockland County, Dutchess County. My dad moved up to Middletown, up in Goshen Park Turnpike. So, like, I've been up to what people truly can consider upstate New York. Yeah, Westchester absolutely. Is not actually upstate New York for anybody wondering. Not at all. Like, I live in Mount Vernon now. You could literally walk to the Bronx, bro. Like, yeah. That shit is not upstate. There's subways that go to Mount Vernon, bro. Yeah. Like, to me, if it's Metro North within reach, you're in, downstate. But I digress. James Gatzby is all about the fact that I rep New York to me. Like, I truly embody it. I got family all over. I've been here my whole life. I'm trying to make it here. All my content is really shot around here. Like, I'm making the music here. I'm trying to make my living here. I want to start a family here. So that's like the main element of it. I also threw some sick ass parties growing up. So you can ask my friends. I honestly don't like to talk about it because I don't want to toot my own horn, but like, we threw some dope concerts in college. Like, we had some legit underground type of venue that we just made out of our basement. It used to get packed the fuck out. Like I said, the part my mom didn't want to hear before, I'm not going to elaborate really. But I like to have a good time. So,
nice.
Yeah, my kids are fucked. They're not going to be able to get anything past me. That's for sure. Like,
where are your parents from?
Like I said, my dad, he was from Brooklyn, and my mom was from the Bronx.
No, but before we press record, you said it was some country I never heard of before. What was it?
Oh, my nationality. So yeah. My father is Irish completely, but on my mother's side, my grandma Laura was Italian, and my grandpa Joe was Maltese from the island of Malta. So it's a very tiny little island. I've been there actually. I was lucky enough to go visit with my family. They shot Game of Thrones there actually a little bit.
Wow.
It's one of the more remote destinations that they had. So yeah, it's a beautiful place.
Well, what's it like? I never heard of this place, sadly.
It's like tropical in terms of having, warmer climate. It was more like, from what I saw, a little more barren and deserty than I would expect. But, so much history and heritage because there were so many people who captured it over history. It's not like a strong empire or anything like that. They were captured by the British and like the fucking Byzantines probably and everybody through history. So it really fucked up my ancestry, or 23andMe shit. Like, I got way
Everything.
people from like the Fertile Crescent that we just
Yeah.
assume is Malta. Yeah, so I definitely got a little bit of Mediterranean swag in my blood.
What's the language there?
Maltese.
Really?
And I do not speak it.
Ah.
Yeah, sorry. I'm not very good with foreign languages. I wish I took Spanish growing up. I took French, which, you know, is cool, but I should have took Spanish. I especially wanted to be a soccer player. Oh my God. Would have been way more useful.
A Maltese is a dog too? Am I
Yeah, it is a dog.
Right?
Type of dog. I think it's one of those little white ones.
I don't even know what it looks like.
You can put it up on the pop up in the
and
comma.
does it come from that?
I would
country?
assume so.
Yeah.
I would. Sorry, I'm not a dog breeding expert either.
Oh, that's funny, man. If you had one law everyone on Earth had to follow, what would it be?
Be kind.
I like that.
So many other things would be taken care of
100%.
if we thought of it from that perspective rather than from like financial gains or personal vengeance, shit like that. Just be kind.
What's the biggest goal, best case scenario with the music?
Oh, bro, like I said before, I'm a full-time hip-hop artist. I can go on tours. People buy my tickets to my shows. They stream my music. They buy my merch. And occasionally they decide to tune in on Twitch when I'm publicly playing Xbox and having a great time with people online.
There you go. I like that. Do you have any regrets?
Probably. I feel like most people have regrets. There's things I wish I did more efficiently or timely, or there's relationships that I wish I handled differently, but I try and take everything as a lesson rather than a loss. I think
Man.
that's a huge way to have a perception in life, just not letting things get you down and trying to, you know, always rebound, always optimize, always improve when you can. So, yeah, I definitely have regrets, but I definitely have more positive things in my life, I would say. I have more reasons to be happy than to be sad.
I like that.
Yeah.
What are your overall life goals outside of the music?
Oh, dude, I would love to just die old as a grandpa, like playing golf on some sick island somewhere when I want to in this fucking wintertime and living back in New York in the summertime. Have a nice lake house or something for the grandkids to go chill at. Because, like I said, my sister and I were actually talking about this the other day, where we didn't have like a legit family function since like she was like 3 years old and I was 5 because of our parents getting divorced and like splitting up. Like, we used to have Christmas Eve at our house. And I have very fond memories as a very young child, just feeling immense love for my family. Like, it would be incredible to share that with my family again. And it's never going to happen with the family I had or I was born into.
Of
but
course.
hopefully it can happen with my family. As
You
I find
creating
some-
it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
That's beautiful. How can the people find you?
Oh, dude. I am Mr. James Gatsby on Instagram, TikTok, social media, YouTube. I stream music, obviously on Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere you get your music, under the name James Gatsby. It is Gatsby with a Z. I want to be clear. It's not Gatsby like the book. It's obviously inspired by the book. But, you know, that shit just came out of like copyright infringement a few years ago. I was Gatsby before that. So Gatsby with a Z. But yeah, James Gatsby, guys. J Gats. You can fuck with me. Hopefully you like the music and more shit to come.
Definitely. You saw the movie?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You like it?
It was good, yeah. I enjoyed it.
Leonardo DiCaprio's great.
Yeah, he's huge.
He killed that.
Huge fan.
You have anything coming up that you want the people to tune into? But we already said you're definitely going to be Saturday. You're going to be at the Stockroom open mic.
Yeah, I would say
talent show.
definitely tap in with me on social because I'm going to have a lot of new music coming out in 2025. I don't have any new shows coming up yet, but I'm going to be working hard to, you know, break down some of these gatekeepers in New York City and really get some shows. I know so many dope artists from the scenes and just the amount of open mics and shows I've been at in the past that I want to give other people the opportunity to and curate a set list really. So that's going to be coming in 2025. Probably going to wait till my younger cousin Jack turns 21 so I can get his ass in. So that's in April.
Nice.
Hopefully like May, June. My birthday's in June too, so maybe something big in June in terms of doing a show. But I'm going to start dropping music actually on day 1 of 2025.
There you
New
go.
Year's Day. My track Day 1 is dropping on all platforms. That was the first track that some of my closest friends told me they had no critique for. They said, this one, you are a rapper. And I said, fuck yeah. Let's give it to the people. This shit, it's for my day ones, you know, the people that have been fucking with me this whole time. You know, it's also for the people who doubted me. Fuck those people. I have no regrets for that. Like, this is me. I'm authentic with it, and I got my shit in my bag now, bro. Like, Let's cook.
That's what I'm talking about. So January 1st, this new song drops. And
Yeah,
it's called Day One?
It's called Day One.
Perfect.
It's called Day One. I have a snippet on it on my IG. You can go check it out. I got a little video content that'll be coming with it too. We'll see about a whole video, but probably just, a little tease of it.
Nice.
It's going to be sick.
Very nice. And lastly, any last advice you'd like to leave the people with?
Guys, there's a lot of people out here doing a lot of shit. I want to shout out Franjez for having me. I would definitely say support people in your community doing the stuff that I'm doing the stuff that Fran is doing, because this shit ain't easy and we're investing in ourselves. And if you can do anything in this life, invest in yourself, believe in yourself. Don't take shit from no one, be real about it, stand on business, but be kind at the same time, because you don't know who's the next person coming up that might need a hand from you, and you don't know who's going to help you along the way. So take that approach to life, and I think you'll be all right.
My man, beautiful words. Thank you very much for coming through. This has been a great podcast.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Peace and love.
Later.